Hello friends and welcome to the future of cars in India. We are at the Hyundai Kona launch event at the Buddh International Circuit. Now this car is India's first all-electric SUV and has gone on sale at 25.3 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. A lot of mind-boggling facts about the Kona have been revealed. For example, it's got a range, a real-world driving range of 452 kilometers on a single charge without affecting the performance. For example, 0 to 100 in just over 9 seconds, and this one is feature loaded from a sunroof to wireless charging to drive-by-wire and a lot more. So the big question, how does the Kona fare in terms of driving? Well, unfortunately, we won't be driving the car on proper Indian public roads, but on a racetrack. But nevertheless, for the driving impressions, guys, stay with me for the next few minutes. Now the Kona is an expensive car by Indian standards. 25.3 lakh rupees is a lot of money even if it's an electric vehicle. Nevertheless, Hyundai understands the price people are going to pay for it, and that is why the interiors live up to the premium badge. They look and feel very nice. It's an overly black theme, broken very well by silver inserts at places, but the big thing is that there is no gear lever over here. You have drive-by-wire and it looks very cool. 4 buttons for your driving situations, a D, drive, R, reverse, P, parking, which I'm in right now, N for neutral, so there's no gear lever. Likewise, it's an electric brake button setup, no handbrake to pull, so this really frees up a lot of space on the inside. This is being marketed as an SUV, and yes, the driving posture is slightly high. The windshield is low, so as a driver you can even see the bonnet. The pillars aren't very thick, so visibility wise it's a good place to be, and this one will be available to you only in one version, which will be fully loaded, as I told you, from a sunroof to these nice ventilated leather seats. So you have heating as well as cooling for the seats. You have your wireless charging, you have a lovely audio setup with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can also see the functioning of the electric motor in terms of the juice left, the range done, the economy, how the motor is working on the display as well, and then even the outside mirrors, they are heated. You have true keyless entry with start stop. So features wise, it's a nice job done in terms of the layout and the feel and the fit and finish. It's again very good. The space is nice. Under the support could be slightly better, but overall the seats are nice. Currently adjusting the seat for my height. I stand 6 feet tall, so time to see the space at the back if you have a tall person sitting up front. Guys, let's go at the back. Now, as I told you, the front seat is positioned for my height. I stand 6 feet tall, and expecting Tucson kind of space at the back will not be a good thing. It is slightly tight. As you can see, my legs are not going under the seat, and I have just about 2 inches of space between the knee and the back of the front seat. So yes, space isn't its forte, but it's a good place to be. You sit higher up, so the visibility factor is definitely there. The seats feel nice. They have a premium touch to it. You have your huge armrest with your cup holders, lots of headroom, I think good shoulder space as well. So yes, up front I would say 9 out of 10, but at the back 7 out of 10, mainly because of the lack of knee room over here. Now before we get to the track part, let's show you the heart of the matter. This is what powers the Kona. Now it looks small, but there's a lot of power and torque going on over here. In terms of numbers, you have 136 PS of power and over 400 Newton meters of torque. That is a lot of punch and power and torque for a car which is the size of a Creta. Now Hyundai claims 0 to 100 can be done in just over 9 seconds, and as per ARAI, the certified range for this on a full charge is 452 kilometers. That means you can go from Bombay to Pune and back to Bombay, or you can go from Delhi to Chandigarh and yet have range to reach outskirts of Delhi back. Talking of the range and the charging, Hyundai also claims that with fast charging, you can charge the whole motor up to 80% in less than 1 hour, and this is what they will be setting up across various cities in India. If you don't have a fast charger, DC charger available, if you have a setup at home, that can charge the car up to 80% in approximately 6 to 7 hours. So you come back home and you put the car on charge overnight. In the morning, it will be completely charged. But again, back to the figure of 452, that means for a typical customer who's driving 50-60 per day, you don't need to charge the car in a week's time. That is what I do for my normal vehicle. So the biggest anxiety EV cars had was about the range, and Hyundai has solved that with the Hyundai Kona. So finally, I'll not keep you waiting. It's time to hit the track.
So as we told you earlier in the video, there is no gear lever and you need to make use of these 4 buttons to get going. We are in the P or the parking mode, and if I press D, we go into the drive mode and we can start driving forward. But before that, again, this car has various driving modes which I can change from right here. By the way, my seat is being cooled right now. I'll press the driving modes and the same can be seen on the screen in the middle. Here you go. This is the eco mode, again for economy conscious people. This is the comfort, a balance between eco and sport, and this is the sport one which will have the best in terms of the punch, and I'll be using this one on the BIC. The same sport eco is also reflected in the screen. So yeah, sport mode on. In drive mode, the handbrake is released, the convoy is about to start. Unfortunately, we aren't allowed to overtake the lead car, and the top speed they say is will be controlled to 100 for safety. But nevertheless, Ajish is with me shooting right now, and we hope to have a good time with the Kona. 3 laps will be given to us. Let's see how much the Kona can impress me in these 3 laps on the BIC. On the famous back street of the BIC, but we aren't allowed to cross a particular speed, but nevertheless, we're doing 100, 110, 120. This thing is fast for an EV. 140 on the speedo and rising, 155, 160, and I brake hard. 100 miles per hour in an all-electric vehicle in India. I could have never imagined this a year back. Now this is a single speed automatic, so there's no way you can take a charge of the gears while on a track. But interestingly, there is something called as recuperation of energy. In this, you can control that levels via the 2 pedals on the steering. I'm on stage 0 of recuperation. If I go to stage 3, what happens is the moment I lift off the accelerator pedal, the car starts braking. So I can control my braking and acceleration via a single pedal if I am on stage 3 of recuperation. If I go on stage 0, whenever I lift off, it acts like a normal car. There will not be no sudden braking, which is happening right now because of the recuperation. Very, very good thing Hyundai is giving in the Kona. Secondly, this is a silent vehicle, but there is an option to switch on sound of a normal car, which is very useful for pedestrians. In city traffic, near residential colonies, this car will be very silent, so you can switch off that optional sound from the front, which can actually warn other pedestrians. So again, a nice move in terms of safety for the society from Hyundai. Now the Kona is powered by a 39 kilowatt electric motor, and in terms of the power and torque equivalent to a normal engine, you have 136 PS of power, as I told you, and 400 Newton meters of torque. The combination is so good that in sport mode acceleration can actually push you back in the seat like this. Once again, the way it picks up speeds even at higher velocities. I'm doing 120 as I talk to you, 130 as I keep talking to you, 140, 150, 160, 164, and a brake hard. I think there was certain lock at 164. I was going downhill. This car may be locked to 160 or 100 miles per hour, and that is what you have done twice in the last few minutes. Now, apart from the thrills at BIC, in terms of your daily driving, if I switch to the comfort mode, comfort is a good balance between your economy and your power, and this is where you start realizing the good things about the Kona. It is butter smooth. I mean, even the word butter smooth will be an understatement. World moves past you in a very silent manner. The envy levels are nice. The outside world remains outside. The steering is slightly on the heavier side, but responds to your inputs very well. The large 17-inch alloy wheels, well, they don't rob you of ride quality. I just went over some undulations and the ride quality seems to be very nice. I'm trying to drive the car with one hand. I can easily pilot the car into curves in and out. So in daily driving, the joy of smoothness, of silence is something people will really appreciate and might be happy to pay that extra premium for this kind of experience. You would want to drive the car again and again. It's something that cocoons you from your daily life, your daily grinds, your office meetings. The Kona is something you would want to go back to every evening, and that is what matters, right?
Now in the end, I only got to spend 3 laps with the Kona on the BIC. But after that, I did spend a lot of time with the car in the pits on the outside and the inside. Now as a standalone figure, I agree 25.3 lakh rupees is a lot of money for a typical Indian. But if you're in the market looking for a SUV in the 12 to 15 lakh rupee bracket or even 15 to 20 lakh rupee bracket, trust me, it's worth spending extra on a vehicle like the Kona. The features, Hyundai's Ashwasan, the warranty, the low running cost, the superb driving range and the driving experience, it's the power of silence. That is the best way I can put my experience of driving the Kona on the BIC. In the end, I think it's hats off to Hyundai for experimenting. I know other manufacturers are also almost ready with the lineup of EVs, and this is indeed the future of India. If these cars can offer you a realistic driving range without sacrificing on the performance part or the reliability part or the warranty part, I think it's a win-win situation for both the customers and the manufacturers. In the end, I would say Hyundai, this is a right step in the right direction, but now let's work on a more affordable solution. Probably a 10 to 12 lakh rupee car, a smaller vehicle which could cost 10 to 12 lakh rupee, a 300 kilometer range, a 0 to 100 in 12 seconds, a top speed of 140 and the same warranty, the same features, the same power of silence. Now that is what a typical Indian finally needs in the next few years. Guys, what do you feel about EVs? Do the EVs have a future in India, and what do you feel about the Kona in particular? Let us know in the comment section below, and of course, to watch the videos from the Indian automotive industry, you know what to do. Subscribe to our channel.